Well, here we are on the April issue of the Mover magazine, and I know that it comes to you at a particularly difficult time. The pages of the Mover won't carry an awful lot about the virus, partly because a lot of the stories, of course, were created before this became the problem that it is now. But mainly because we've already published lots of information about that's relevant to the virus on our website. So if you want to keep up to date with that side of things, then take a look on the website. And of course, I know that your 24-hour news bulletins are full of the stuff anyway, so there's not much point in us repeating all of that. So no, I hope that the April issue of the magazine is something of a bit of a sort of a light relief for you anyway, to take you away from all the things that are going on elsewhere. There's one very poignant story. The lead story in the magazine is all about the IMA conference in Cambodia, which of course at the time that I went there and the time that I reported on it, I didn't know that it was going to be probably certainly the last one of the season, possibly the only one of the year really. But it was a great event, and congratulations to Patricia for running such a good event. But it looks weird when you look back at everybody there enjoying themselves and socialising, and with what we now have to put up with only a matter of a few weeks later. It seems very strange. It seems like another world. But anyway, read it and enjoy it. There's a story in the magazine as well about getting started in self-storage, and I thought that was poignant because I've recently found out that apparently the self-storage industry has had a bit of a boost because of the virus, because of course there's so many people working from home now, and they're having to clear out spare rooms and that kind of thing to make space, and so the self-storage industry apparently has been doing quite well over that. But this story is about how to set up your own self-storage facility without necessarily having to spend an absolute fortune on it. And there's another story as well, which is I've called it it's about the BAR, the British Association of Removers, and I've called it the challenges of BAR because we all belong to things. We all belong to feeding. We belong to IAM and to what all the different organisations, and all of us have a bit of a moan and a groan about them at some stage, and of course there's plenty of people that moan about BAR as well, and some of it of course is justified, some of it perhaps isn't, but at least I wanted to show the other side of the story. There's so much on social media that about this kind of thing, and I just thought it would be nice to show the other side of the story. So I did an interview with Ian Studd, who's the Director General of BAR, so that he could explain some of the reasons why things appear the way they do. Anyway, read that, particularly if you're in the UK and if you're interested in what's happening at BAR, then I'm sure you'll be interested in that. Even if you're not, then it's quite an interesting town. There's lots in the magazine, of course, as always, but there was something else I wanted to say, because with these rather strange times that we're going through now, I think it's particularly important that we all communicate more than we did before. Some would argue that you just sort of retract into yourself and let all the mess fly over you, but I don't think so. I think we need to communicate more to let everybody know that we're still here, we're still doing what we do, we're still keen. And also to let everybody else know that they're not working on this whole thing by themselves. And I think that's really, really important. And it struck me that because the Mover magazine is now 100% digital, it's actually going directly to the people wherever you are. Now, if you're working from home, you're still getting the magazine in exactly the same way as you would have done before, whereas of course all the other magazines in the industry that serve the industry are predominantly print magazines, and a lot of those are going to be going through letterboxes and landing on mats of companies that maybe don't have many people working there right now. And so it struck me that we've we might be having more people reading our magazine now than we would otherwise have, and that responsibility of being possibly the only trade publication people can get hold of right now hasn't been lost on us. We do understand that. The other thing that I wanted to say was that I wanted to thank our advertisers, because, as you know, the Mover magazine is funded by advertising only. That's all we have. We don't have any big organisation behind us, and so I really appreciate the advertisers staying with us. And I wanted to say one thing to you, and that is that when we have these times and people do have this sort of enforced free time, if you like, they start looking at their businesses and looking at the how they're doing things and reflecting on whether perhaps they should do things differently, and therefore they would look at the kind of things that people are advertising, the stories that we're writing, and the ideas that we're coming up with, and use that as part of their planning for the future. So this is not lost time. It may be that the business for all of us is not quite as good as it should be, but that doesn't mean that that promotion and being visible in the market is not necessary. I think it's as necessary now as it ever was before, if not more so. Anyway, that's that. I hope you enjoy reading the magazine, and I'll see you next time.